This episode has been brought to you from the DGMS Studios, home of Don't Get Me Started, Lethal and Mully Live, and Surftown. Found at Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Hello and welcome to Don't Get Me Started. It's the mother of all podcasts with Keith and Lee. Hi, I'm Lee.
And I'm Keith.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Don't Get Me Started. In the chair opposite me, the prodigal son has returned. Kill the fatted beast. Bring out the finest robes. Keith's back. How are you, mate? I heard you went away for a little bit. I heard you went down the coast to catch up with family and did some interviews along the way. And I just want to give a shout out to Sam, who is expecting their second child. So good on you, Sammy. Well done, mate. I'm proud of you. But Keith, tell me about the interviews that you conducted while down there, while you was enjoying yourself in the family atmosphere.
Thank you, Lee, for your warm and rather formal welcome. I'm still not quite used to you being decent to me, but I'm feeling the love over here, mate. So I appreciate that. Yes, thanks. So it was a great holiday, a 2-week road trip all the way down to just south of Wollongong on New South Wales South Coast. Great weather. I met great people. Of course, I went down there to see family, so they spoiled me and I had a great time with them. I also took the opportunity to slowly work my way up and down the coast because it's quite a long 2-day trip here from here in Noosa.
I was worried about you, mate.
No, I handled it well. So I popped in to see friends, family, obviously, different family members along the way. And I also took the opportunity to do some interviews for my other podcast that we run out of the studio here called Surftown, where I interview surfers who have done something significant in their surfing life or are still doing something significant. And that was really interesting because I had a chance to talk to former world champions, significant surfboard makers, surf book magazine publishers, and they're really, really interesting people. So those interviews were gold. And when you have a trip like that, that is like an extended break from your normal life in your normal home. You're seeing family, friends, having great social times, talking with very interesting people who do significant things. It's just a wonderful holiday, and it was. But there was a fun side to it as well.
There was?
Yes. Of course, travelling down by myself, and I have the radio on. And I went through...
Kept you awake.
Yeah, well, you tune in. The radio fades out as you move away from their main transmission centre, and all of a sudden you're listening to local radio, and somebody was talking about a town in New South Wales called Dondingalong. And
wonder why.
Well, I'd heard of this before, many years ago, and I thought, Dondingalong, you got to be kidding. So I looked it up when I was, stable at some point. Population 664. And then I was telling Sam, my son, about it or somebody, and I was just saying how this is crazy. Oh, that's nothing. They said, have you heard of a place called Tittybong? I thought, Tittybong.
Now, where do these come from? They're not Aboriginal names, surely.
No, I think they're naughty Englishmen who...
Nothing else better to do.
Yeah, and that's in Victoria, and the population in Tittybong is 3. 3. And this got me on a bit of a search. How many other strange names is there in Australia?
Okay.
Right, so some of these names which I'm going to read out to you are not towns, they're places.
Right.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Humpty Bong.
Humpty Bong.
Humpty Bong. And it gets better. You've got Bogan Place.
Yes, I know it well.
What about Mossy Nipple Bend?
No.
Absolutely.
Mossy Nipple Bend.
Yeah, it exists.
So that's a place? Or
yes. It's no, it's a region.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's a place, but it may not necessarily be a town.
Wow.
If you don't believe me, look it up. It's near Lake Fanny in Tasmania.
These are made up for sure.
No, they're on the map. And also nearby is another place called Prickly Bottom.
Oh.
and Tasmania has to take the nod for all these names.
Oh.
What about this one? Shag Head.
Yeah.
But these next 3 are classics.
Oh, there's more?
There's 3 more. I've got to read them out. Boobs Flat.
Boobs Flat.
Yeah, now these 2 take the cake.
We're down to the top 2.
Quality Knob.
What?
Quality Knob, which is...
Quality Knob?
Yeah, which is also near, I believe, also near, you're going to love this one, Spanker Knob. And how can they actually get this
How
past?
can they get away with it?
Yeah, and there's another one called, this person must have some sort of complex going, Prominent Knob. God.
Whoever it is got knob on their mind, I reckon.
Like, the mind really goes there. The mind goes there, doesn't it, when you hear these names?
Oh, and this is all down Victoria.
All down Victoria, Dong Dingalong. It's in New South Wales.
Yeah, where do you live, mate? Oh, Dong Dingalong.
Where do you live, mate? Tittybong.
Tittybong.
Are you one of the three? What do you guys do on a Saturday night? You don't want to know.
Imagine writing that way, not so much now because we got the internet. Imagine write that down on an envelope. Oh.
Well, you could, because these places exist. They'd even have their own postcode.
Wow.
Like,
wow, that's amazing.
So people go down to Tasmania to breathe the fresh air and the beautiful scenery and see something of that greenery and, organic produce that they produce down there. But I suggest you go down there on a quest to tick off all the little strange names and places that you've been to.
Now, they must have signs there as well.
Yeah.
So you just go to the sign, get a photograph. We should do a competition.
Yeah, send it in. Well, actually, I took a photo when I was in Kiama down on the south coast of New South Wales. There's a street down there called Bong Bong Street.
Yeah.
And I have a photograph of it. Now, some of these names have associations with bedroom activities and smoking dope, like Humpty Bong, Dong Ding-along.
Yeah. It's a bong ding dong.
Don Ding-along. One word. And so Titty Bong and Prickly Bottom and Shag Head and Spanker Knob, it's obviously...
Spanker Knob. That's unreal.
Getting a little bit physical there, aren't we?
Yeah, 42, Dangadong Spanker Knob.
Yeah.
New South Wales, Victoria.
And boobs flat. Maybe that guy was disappointed in some
must
way.
Be. How funny. How
like...
funny. You sent me through 4 or 5 interviews from, I wish they were from these places, of the surfers and such like. And I did one, which was Terry Richardson, which was quite phenomenal. Amazing guy.
And not only amazing guy, a genuinely nice guy. Nice guy. Everything about him is quality.
Yeah. And stories are just incredible.
Yeah, well, that's the great thrill about running the Surftown podcasts that we do. And I have the privilege of interviewing these guys because they have extraordinary lives. There's another interview which you will have the privilege of editing with Derek Hind. And he's such an interesting guy. Not your normal thinker, somebody who loves to really think critically about life and about surfing. I'd only just recently seen a podcast or listened to a podcast with a guy called Eric Weinstein, an intellectual and quite an influential thinker over there in the United States. Not a surfer, but he did an interview on his podcast called Portal with a world-famous big wave Hawaiian surfer, Kai Lenny. And it was quite an interesting interview because Eric is not a surfer. Now, when I had the interview with Derek, he's such a left field, right field thinker. I wondered how the conversation would start. And I had in my mind this Eric Weinstein podcast where he talks a lot about physics.
Yep.
And I wondered where we would go with Derek. And guess what topic we started with? Marxist economics.
Oh, there you go.
As you do.
It's a lighthouse one.
Yes. And of course, Derek has that left-wing influence in his thinking that somehow, as we went through the interview, 20 minutes, half hour in, that view from the left or that alternate view that's more organic weaves its way into the conversation about surfing.
Also, a little bit of Fidel Castro as well. So
there you go.
Thrown in there.
Yeah. And
I was thinking, what am I doing? A political interview here? Or is it a surf one? Quite incredible.
He's that type of guy. But that's the great thrill for me to be able to talk to these people. And, I just feel so privileged to be able to do that because I'm hearing wonderful stories from great people.
Well, we got a few coming up on Surftown. Once I get my backside into action and get them edited, I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. As I said to Keith before he left, don't forget, get the Hollyland going, which is the mobile microphones, which are so good. It picks up everything. So I'm on my game trying to remove the and the ooh and the
Yeah, well, when I interviewed Derek, he said, let's do it on top of a hill out in Byron Bay.
I can tell.
So the wind's whistling through and he's got his dog Bluey there who barked a couple of times. And then towards the end of the interview, a car pulled up and a guy gets out, slams at the door.
I haven't got to that point yet.
So it's very organic, that one.
Excellent.
In many ways.
So tune in, Surf Town. Now, I just want to grab a few things, as I say, housekeeping about Don't Get Me Started. We've had some really interesting downloads, again, from around the world, from Brazil, from Hungary, from South Africa, from India. America has been downloading us like there's no tomorrow. And it's a place called Logan in Utah. So, fellas, if you're out there, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. You've downloaded, I think, our last 10. So tell us what you think. We're always here to take criticism, or if you want to be nice to us, we'll take that as well. I hope that you're enjoying the podcasts and the content that we're bringing to you each week. I want to take a moment to invite you to support the show. Your contributions help us continue creating high-quality episodes, bringing in exciting guests and exploring the topics you love. Every bit helps, whether it's a small donation or signing up for our Patreon account. By supporting us, you're not just helping keeping the lights on, you're becoming part of our community and helping us grow. To show our appreciation, we offer exclusive perks, behind-the-scenes content, and so much more for our supporters. So if you love what we do and you want to see us thrive, please consider signing up at buzzsprout.com/Don't Get Me Started. Support the show. Thank you for being part of our journey, and let's keep the conversation going.
Well, Utah, of course, is famous for the Mormon religion they have there. I think that's the center. They have all their administration and their big tabernacle there. That doesn't mean everybody in Utah is a Mormon, but I'm sure that their culture, and I think it's landlocked too, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from somebody
absolutely.
from Utah.
For sure.
You know, irrespective of your beliefs or your cultural emphasis, you know, you're going to be a little bit different from us here in Australia in a subtropical zone. So we'd love to hear from you. Want to know what you think of our podcast.
Absolutely. Taiwan, another one. Whitstable in Kent. I don't know whether that's my niece. If it is, Kirsty, drop us a line. So we've been pretty well received around the globe.
Around the globe. Isn't that excellent?
So I just done a quick check before we came on. So we're in 43 countries in 113 cities. If you just take that from when we first started, every time I say, I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's astonishing.
It's astonishing.
Because we don't have a background in communications or studio work in any way. This started off as a hobby, but it's just grown and grown, and we've just loved the ride.
Oh, it's been incredible. Now, I've been dropping a few little hints about our little project we've been working on, and you'll be seeing and hearing a little bit more about it if you're following us. So do you want to say what it is, Keith?
No, you go ahead, because you're all over it.
I'm all over it. So what it is, and which I have been sort of pestering Keith about, and I think initially he thought it's a lot of work, but we are going to start an internet radio station, and we are going to call it Rogue Radio Noosa.
Love it.
Love it. And we've been spending the last month and a half just trying to get everything together, to get it on paper. And we did that yesterday. It's only been yesterday that we've finalized 1 week of content that we want to put out there. So I am, and Keith is mega excited about getting that up and going, because who doesn't like music? And for me, music should be felt, not heard. You should feel the music. And what Keith has got coming up, what I've got coming up, and all the subjects we've got coming up will be incredibly amazing, I think.
And invigorating, we hope.
We do. It's going to be a little bit more work for us, but I mean, Keith's going to do all day, except come in and do the radio station and do more podcasts and do more interviews. He's got nothing else better to do. But that's what we're going to do. So it's called Rogue Radio Noosa.
Well, it's going to be, I think, quite good for me to come in and be busy helping to set up the radio. Everywhere I turn lately, people are talking to me about ice baths, and it's about the last thing I want to do. Now, of course, not only do they tell you about it, they sell it to you. The benefits of this, it's so good, and you'll feel this, and it will invigorate you. And it's like, yeah, dude, maybe, but you know how I like being comfortable in my comfort zone? The last thing in my mind I want to do is get up in the morning and have a cold shower. And I'm like, geez, come on.
Well, we've been having cold showers for a long while because my temperature valve on my hot water went.
Oh, so it's enforced.
So now we've got this hot showers, which are great. But in a couple of months' time, won't need the hot water anymore.
Yeah, I do. I still have
You still?
Yeah, I still have warm showers when it's full-blown summer.
Get out.
I told you, I'm a softie.
You big wuss.
Absolutely.
But anyway, thanks to everybody that's downloaded our episodes. I'm bowled over, exciting every time I look and I see the downloads. And we said last time we passed a few milestones and it seems to be carrying on. So well done, Keith.
And well done, Lee. I suppose we better get into our topic for the podcast. But I have a little bit of a problem because...
Oh, really? You've only got one?
Actually...
You've got a few.
Yeah, there's some people who are very, very close to me and they're prone to pointing out my problems. Yes.
Do you want to hear mine?
No. I've got enough of my own to deal with, thanks. The little problem I have at the moment is we have a topic, but we don't know what to call the title.
Right.
We want to talk about, is romance dead, I believe.
Yeah, I think is romance dead or is romance still alive?
And I'm interested in this because there's two aspects of it. There's the romantic side which is characterised by an expression of love, and then the other side is romanticism, which is characterised by an idealistic view of society. But I know you, Lee Roberts. You are the first. You're somebody who is characterised by an expression of love. And when we talk about romance, that's your territory.
Well, when you first said about it, I thought, oh, what a great subject. And I thought, am I romantic? I was thinking, what is it anyway? What is it to be romantic? My thoughts are rose petals, warm baths, candles, moonlight, champagne, soft music. But it's so much more to that. I don't think I was ever romantic. My wife may back me up on that, but romance, I am into romance. So romance to me refers to the feelings, behaviours and expressions of love and attraction between individuals in a romantic relationship.
Well, there you go. See, I pegged you. I knew that was you.
It often involves intimacy, affection, and this is yours, Mully, and a sense of excitement or mystery. Because you're the mystery man.
Is that right? I'm an open book.
Romance can be expressed through various acts, including physical affection, thoughtful gestures, and open communications, which I'm all for.
Well, let's stay with this expression of romance because we live in a world where pessimism is growing more and more. People are distrustful of their governments. People are looking around the world. They don't like a lot of things that are happening. And you often hear people say that it's an unstable world, it's a dangerous world, bad times that we're living in, which it certainly is, but I would argue it's no different from any other period of history. So romance should be something that is kept alive. It is something that we should have between each other, with your partner, you're one that you have that special heart, significant intimate relationship with, if that must exist.
Would you class yourself as being a romantic?
Oh, according to those who should receive it from me, I am not.
And how does that make you feel? Now, is it down to because you just don't believe in that, or you wasn't taught that, or to you it just doesn't exist?
No, I think the middle one. I wasn't taught it. I hate to make excuses because I know what I should do because all my failings the same failings are pointed out often enough. I've got the message. But I don't think it comes naturally to me because I didn't have a lot of affection when I was young. I don't want to use that as an excuse. As I said, I know that I should be doing better.
We all should be doing better.
But it doesn't come naturally to me.
But didn't you used to watch romantic movies? I mean, like Titanic. Titanic, they reckon, is a romantic
it is.
movie.
Look, I'd like to. Could I backtrack a little bit to defend myself in light of a question that you put to me?
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm considerate, and I do think I do think I am a good listener. So if that can be a little tick for me, I'll take it.
What I used to do with my wife, we used to go out a lot of candlelit dinners.
Ooh.
And then before internet, I think the internet dating sites take away romance too. But before then, we used to write letters to one another. And so you could write on a letter how you felt about that person. It seems to be a bygone era now. It sort of went out with Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh.
Yeah, and like I said a little bit earlier, the pessimistic era that we're living in, and of course, love can be found so easily now on the internet. You don't meet somebody accidentally by by bumping into them in the supermarket aisle. You know, you flick through your dating app. Yes, no, yes, no, maybe.
Swipe right.
You've got this massive smorgasbord of choices. And, you know, I think that's possibly contributing to the death of romance, or the fact that romance is perhaps not as valued as highly as what it used to be.
Yeah, well, romance is basically about making your partner feel special, loved, connected, to be with them for their needs and their desires. That's what I think romance is. And hopefully my wife will back me up on that again, that I have done that. I believe in romance. I think you should have that. I don't think I'm very romantic, but I'm a great believer in romance.
Well, this is interesting that you should say that, because I'm thinking that when you fall in love, you know, particularly for the first time or in the first phases of being in love, it's like this overwhelming drug that comes in and turns your brain to mush, and the emotions just well up in front of you, or, you know, out of you, and you're sitting watching a stupid movie and tears are coming down. It's like, oh my God, you know. So in that sense, romance happens naturally. You don't even have some sort of control over it. It's just this overwhelming feeling of bliss. But then, as the relationship matures, deepens, or moves on to an area of familiarity, perhaps, then you can be romantic by doing what you just said. We are going out this week, babe, for a candle-lit dinner.
How lovely.
Or we're going to see the latest romantic movie. All right, guess what I just read when I was reading through this poetry anthology? You know, can I read you this poem?
You're overdoing it now, Molly.
No, well, you know what I mean? It's an act.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a little bit overcooked there, but I'm emphasising romance can be a feeling, and it also can be an act that you willfully engage in.
I've got down here romance. 1, a feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the mystery side of it.
Because there's a sense of discovery coming.
Oh, yeah. Like, can't wait. Bring it on.
In every way.
And 2, a quality or feeling of mystery, excitement, and I like this too, a remoteness from everyday life. Because I remembered that, where things didn't bother me anymore, and it was great to be in that area.
That bliss bubble.
Yes.
Nothing matters anymore.
Yes.
So therefore, Lee, and this happens naturally, doesn't it, between people? Therefore, romance must be alive.
Must be alive. I don't think we were talking about something else before, but I reckon with romance, it's not dead. It's just adapting to modern day. Another term for romance is what you were talking before. You romanticize as well. So there's that element to it. But I think romance, if you look deep enough and hard enough, is alive and well.
Well, nearly every popular song that you hear is about love. Even the Rolling Stones, which are supposed to be the baddest arsed rock and roll group in history, most of their songs are about love. In defence of the Beatles, a lot of their songs are to do a social comment. A Day in the Life, Eleanor Rigby, Nowhere Man, you can go on and on. Penny Lane. And that's one of the great things I like about the Beatles, that their songs weren't always about love. And I believe that the great Australian group Midnight Oil, I don't think they've even ever recorded a love song. But then you get these heavy metal guys up there with their long hair and their leather gear and their legs sprayed out and their guitars, and they're toughing it out and projecting this image, and they're singing about love. You know, oh, go, you big tough guy. You know, bliss, bliss, bliss. You're not so tough, really, because you're singing about love. So romance must be alive, Lee.
Yeah, I think so. And as I said, I think it's evolving. I don't know where you would think romance should be expressed in different ways today, such as thoughts or acts of service, shared experiences, or deeper emotional connections. If we can do that and tap into that, we are promoting romance.
And romance is a good thing, you know, because you don't want to be aggressive. You don't want to be aggro. You don't want to start conflicts. You want to love.
Well, love. Romance is subjective. What one person considers romantic, another may not.
Of course, and also love can fade. Romance can fade. This brings to mind, and I think I might have said this on another podcast, there's a song by Joni Mitchell called The Last Time I Saw Richard, and there's a line in it which I've never forgotten. And
Richard's gone to Dong Diggly Dog.
Dong Dig-along. Or maybe he's down at Shag Head. No, he's gone to the Prickly Bottom.
Yeah, sod romance. I'm just going to Shag Head.
And then after that, he's gone down to the Prickly Bottom, poor bloke. Because Richard, the line says, the last time I saw Richard, he told me, all of romantics meet the same fate someday, cynical and drunk and boring somebody in some dark cafe, where the romance has died to a point where it's not just faded, it's all over.
Gone.
And the whole wonderful, warm emotion, this universe that you lived in is all these bliss and calm and wonderful is gone.
we've talked,
And I think that's sad.
well, it's going to happen. It depends on whether you want to revive. In this day and age with online dating, it takes it all away. Like we were talking about, is the art of conversation dead? Because you don't need to talk anymore because you can do all that on text.
Yeah.
It breaks down the English language. It's terrible. So I don't think that is a good thing. But apart from romance, and I've heard this before, and you'll recognise this, you and I have been accused of a bromance, mate.
Oh, have we?
We have. Now, bromance is, what do you think a bromance is?
I think it's when two guys really are so close in their friendship, their relationship, that it's got a love aspect to it.
Well, yeah, there's that. I won't go that far.
Well, I'm a bit scared here, actually.
So it's a basic concept of two guys hanging out who are completely comfortable with each other and work together to build a real strong bond.
Oh, yeah, that's us.
Yeah, and honesty about what they share. They trust each other with that, and they have thoughts and desires open to exploring their feelings. So that's a bromance.
Oh, well, that's us.
That's us. It's what they're saying. Is a bromance good or bad? A bromance is extremely fulfilling, happy, and supportive, which I think you and I are with one another.
Yep.
So a bromance is a very close, non-sexual, and I want to emphasize that, between two or more men. So it's an exceptionally tight, affectional, bonding relationship, exceeding that of a usual.
Well, I'm not scared anymore after that.
Friendship.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always wonder what bromance was. Oh, yeah, those guys have got a bromance, and I'm going, I have no idea what bromance means.
Well, I've listened to all of that, and I just really love the description of it. And I'm just thinking, why would somebody question it and say, is it good or bad? I can't think of anything bad in that.
Well, because they're thinking of a romance which ultimately will lead to love and intimacy.
Oh, okay.
That's why. So you bring that on, they just think, oh, yeah, they're gays.
Yeah, well, they're gay, then they'd have their own version of romance.
Well, that's their business.
Yeah, and that's their romance. So
they can do that.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll stick with the romance.
But back to romance. So, as I was saying before, particularly with the rise of online dating and changing social norms, others urge that romance is alive and evolving, which I agree with as well.
I do too. Remember that movie that came out some years ago, Love, Actually?
Yeah, that was a great movie.
And I believe the introduction was along the lines of somebody questioning whether love/romance, if you like, still exists. And then the wording goes, well, if you look around, you can see love everywhere. And they showed the people greeting each other coming off airplanes into the arms of family and friends.
That's right.
It's all around you everywhere. And I think that's a wonderful concept. So, and that movie was massively popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
So you could put out the word love and say romance, actually.
So back to what we were talking about, is romance dead? No, I don't think it is. But you were saying before, just mentioned there, is that in some cases dead and gone.
Well, I think some people can be hurt by relationships. Some people can be hurt to the point where they just don't want to go there again, and they see the experience that they've had where love or the romance has not lived up to their expectations or has met their emotional needs, and they can become quite cynical. And that's why Joni in her song says that this guy says to her, they all meet the same fate, cynical and drunk, and boring someone in some dark cafe. There's nothing worse than a sloppy drunk telling you about their sad love life that they're lost.
Oh.
So, that line is real. But yeah, and also there's another aspect to romance, romanticism, which is an entirely different thing. It's not where you're characterized by love. It's where romanticism is characterized by an idealistic view of reality. And, you can look around the world. I mean, an example of that is the United Nations. The United Nations is kind of like the ultimate ideal way of nations living together in harmony. We are united, and let's work together so that there are no more wars. And so who doesn't back that as a concept? But then if you look around the world, you can see neighbours that are locked into a deadly conflict. And so instead of living together and recognising each other's full rights and statehood and supporting each other, or even just leaving the other one alone, they're locked into this deadly combat that looks like a fight to the end. And so you can look at the dream of the United Nations and what it represents, or the hope that it was supposed to bring in, or you can look at what's going on around the world now and you say, well, there's reality. And that reality is taking away from the dream of us all living together. Or look, I was I've just listened to a podcast recently about building the Panama Canal. And one of the French guys that was a mover in selling the dream of trying to make this happen said that this will unite the world. It will put one half of the world in touch with the others, where we'll exchange goods, trades, ideas, culture, peoples, and we will have a greater understanding. We'll be more enlightened human beings. And there was the ideal, the romanticized.
The vision, the romantic vision.
Yes, of how things can be better because of. But it doesn't often happen. America's great military power can move their warships through the Panama Canal to their military advantage. You can put your trade ships through there so you can get the advantage over your competitors, blah, blah, blah. The idealistic doesn't always win.
The vision of it doesn't really come to light.
But I think you have to have romance. Romanticism in terms of the world has to exist.
For sure.
Because otherwise it's just too bleak.
It turns too dark.
Okay, these bad things are happening, but there's a lot of good things happening too. This country there next to its neighbour might be trying to wipe each other out, but over the other part of the world, two neighbours are living together and they're relaxing border restrictions and they're marrying each other and they're going on holidays in each other's countries and blah, blah.
There has been a lot of conflicts around, and there's two at the moment that we were talking about that may affect something down the line that we want to do. But at the moment, it's been calm. So I'm romanticising that it's going to remain that way, and harmony will take the place of the missiles.
Yes.
And the upset.
Yes.
And the chaos.
Yeah, not just in this particular case, but all the other ones.
All others.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, we're romantic guys.
We are. We've got the vision.
Yeah, we're not power players who want to get the generals to bomb somebody else. That's not us, is it, Lee?
No. Well, getting back to what's saying about the internet radio is that we want to do a segment called Give Peace a Chance. So we're going to name it GPAC, Give Peace a Chance. So that'd be an interesting concept as well. But Keith, we've come to another exciting end of an episode, and I'm going to romantically say I'm going to give you the last word.
Well, I'm going to take it because what you just said there, Give Peace a Chance, of course, comes from the great John Lennon. God rest his soul. And him and Yoko, they promoted that sentiment. And then also they said, war is over if you want it. Come on, all you guys and countries out there that are engaging in this. Give peace a chance. Listen to John and Yoko. War is over. If you want it, you don't have to do it. And may the people of the world, the ordinary people of the world who don't like what's going on, may they rise up with that as their catch cry. Now, if you go out and protest against certain countries these days that are doing certain things, you get attacked. But if you want to go out and protest against what's happening, don't name names. Just say, give peace a chance.
Absolutely.
Just say war is over.
I'm with you, brother.
War is over if you want it. Ban the bomb. Ban the bombs. Reduce your missiles. We don't have to say anything more than that. Even if we do name names, it's not going to stop them. Nah. They're absolute a-holes.
Well, we probably will name names once we get into the episode of
Give Peace a Chance.
Rogue Radio Noosa.
Well, all right, Lee, look, I'm raving on. I'm taking a license with the opportunity to have the last word.
Really?
Yes, mate. I'll wrap up with some nice goodbyes. As per usual, listeners, please like, listen and subscribe. And even, as Lee said earlier, email us in on don'tgetmestarted2024@gmail.com. We'd love hearing from you. So until next time, it's hooroo from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Don't Get Me Started with Keith and Lee. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast. To see more of Don't Get Me Started, jump onto our socials, follow us on Instagram at Lethal and Mully, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you would like to be a part of the show, email us on don'tgetmestarted2024@gmail.com. Until next time.